So today's topic will be on Power Queries. Power Queries, data modeling, Power Pivots, advanced pivot tables, all this will come under one section. So what is actually this Power Queries? What is Power Pivots or what is data modeling? Okay, all these things, they are something new features which are available from 2013 and above version. In 2013 version, we don't have full-fledged, Power Queries. For this, we have to add some add-ins. But anyways, from 2016 and above version, we have this Power Queries, and we'll learn in depth of this Power Queries or say Power Query editors, which will help me in solve lot of things which we actually take a lot of manual work to combine a lot of files or merge a lot of files or say write some dynamic formulas, so many things. Or sometimes what will happen, I have a huge data which is actually beyond Excel, but I still want to keep that reports in Excel. So how will I actually do this? So these kind of things are actually used with using this option, which is say Power Pivots or say Power Queries or Power Query Editor, or we have some functions like DAX functions or something like that. So first of all, when you want to work on this Power Queries or say Power Query Editors, what you have to do is, here I have something called as data. If you go here, there is an option called as get data, that is get and transform. And here, if you want to work on Power Pivots, you'll go here, say Power Pivot. Here I have something called as manage, and there are so many other things. So we'll discuss this later, but first we'll see how we can get the data. Now, when I say get and transform data, what this will actually do is it will import the data from various sources. Now we'll be thinking, anyways, we are actually taking the data from different Excel sheet or say CSV files, and we are working on the formulas or say working on some reports. But what is special in this get and transform? So this get and transform is actually a kind of a part of business intelligence tools. So what this will do is it will connect with various data sources. It can be any data sources. It can be from Excel also, CSV, text file, Access, SQL Server, Azure, or even from Google, say what is that, Google Sheets, or you can also connect it from Facebook, or if you're doing some analysis on various other websites, so anything can be connected, and I can get the data here, and then I can start working on this. And people actually think that it's very complex or say it is very difficult. There is nothing difficult in this. It's very simple actually, but only thing is you should have the proper flow. That is, you have to know what actually we are doing and from where the data is coming and how we can actually clean the data and then get it back to Excel for reports or say pivot tables. That's all. If you follow simple steps, this is very simple. Now let's go here. So I was talking about the get and transform data. All this time, whatever we were working, it's all completely on the Excel sheet. Now today we'll see something else which is there in Excel. That is a different window itself. Like what we have this VBA, that's a different window. Similarly, we have a different window, or so we can also call it as different application, which will help me in doing a lot of reportings and cleaning for the data. Right. If you see this get and transform data, if you don't have, you have to install it, say add-in. That is in 2013, you might not have this full-fledged. So you have to use add-ins for this, and those add-ins are very much free. You can download it from website. Otherwise, from 2016 onward, this is available, and this has got a lot of options. So we'll go one by one and we'll see. First thing is get data. Let me click on this get data. So if you also see that there is a tip word, easily discover, connect and combine data from multiple sources, then shape and refine it to the meet units. That means I can take the data from various data sources. Click on this get data. Here I have so many options. Say from file, that is, if it is a flat file, say it can be a workbook, or it can be CSV or text file or XML file, then I can take the data from a complete folder itself. I'll show you this also. Okay, you can also take the data from SharePoint folder as well. Then from the database, you can see there are so many databases which we can connect. Say I can take it from SQL Server or Access database, or many other databases which you feel that you are actually trying to use from online sources. So here I have, see, from Facebook. If you're doing some Facebook analysis, you can take that. Some Facebook pages, if you want, you can go and connect to that. So there are so many other connections as well. Apart from this, there are more other say connections here which you can go and connect. See, from website, I can connect from website, or there are so many other options as well here. You can use these options and you can connect the data and then work on the reports. Then after this, here we have something called as combined queries. This is something which we can do it once we take the data into Excel sheet or say data modeling. Then this is for the Power Query editor, which I was actually talking about. If I click on this, I'll get a separate window, which will help me in working or creating the data model. These are actually the source settings, that is from where the data is getting connected. So that I'll be using here. And query options, I'll show you. We'll get a pan here where I'll have a lot of queries which will be recorded, or say we can say that it will be just implemented here, which I can see that and I can work on it. All right, let's go to this first option, that is from workbook. Let me click on this. I'm trying to take data from another workbook. I'll say from workbook. This is we are trying to import the data. When I say from workbook, so I'm connecting to another workbook. It will take some time because it is from external source. Now let me go and select the data. I'll take this data. Okay. So here I've kept some data with different formats. So what we'll do is first we'll see how to take it from Excel sheet. Now here I have a file which is raw data, which has got only one sheet or say one table. I'll say import. So what it will do, it will try to import the data. Means the complete data is imported. There's a lot of difference between copying and pasting the data from one Excel to another Excel or importing the data like this. If you can see this, I have this raw data. Let me also open that data. Here I have this raw data. I'll just open this as well so that you can compare both the ways. So this is open actually. That's why it will not open. Now if you see this, I have this raw data. This is the table which I have in that Excel sheet. Once I click on this, you can see the entire view will be here. The sample of the data, whatever is there, like this. Now once I select, once I import it, here I have something called as load, transform and cancel. This is very important to know here. Here if you see, it says load and there's a small error. If you click on this, it says load to. When I say load, what it will do, it will directly load it to the Excel sheet. When I say load to, what it will do, it will not load to the Excel sheet. It will be there in the data model. Whenever I want, I can use it. Transform data will actually take me to another window, that is Power Query editor. So we'll see all these options one by one. So first we'll say load. When I say load, what will happen? The entire data, whatever is there, we imported, that will get imported here, and you can see that the data is here. The complete data is available here. Now this one, sorry, not this. See this one. This is the sheet which I opened. This is the raw data actually. So here, this one got imported here. And if you see, whatever I have used for importing the data, this is actually called as the query. Query means I can use this multiple times. How many other times I want, I can use this. Now let's keep it like this as of now. Now come to this. Now here, this will get converted to a table. Means I imported the data, which is the raw data here. This is the raw data which I imported. This entire data has been imported here like a table. And you can see there is one something called as query and connection. I got some queries here. Fine. Now, if you feel that everything is fine, say the header is fine, no need to clean or anything, so I can directly go and start creating the reports. That is like what I do for creating the say pivot tables or pivot charts, anything I can create. See, I can go and I can create one pivot table like this. See, and start creating the pivot table. Say okay. Normal, like what we do, similarly I can just create the pivot table. Fine, this is with the single table. Let's go back. What we'll do, so this is there. Now let me delete this sheet. So I don't want this sheet, I'll delete this. Now you can see that I have still that query is connected here. If you want to have that data again, which I deleted, so again I need that. Let's go here. Say here we have, say edit. It'll take me to another window. Here you can see that this is the Power Query editor. Still the data is there, the data is not deleted. Now I'll go here, say close and load. Okay, that means we are trying to load this, say to the Excel sheet. Now if you go here, I have something called as load to. Let me click on this. Here I have different options, say table, pivot chart, and only the connection. Now let me click on this table and say okay. You can see that the data is again coming here. Let's go and put it in A1. Just delete this. We'll put it here in A1. Right click. Let's put it from A1. Right click. Say load. I'll say table. Say okay. See, again I got that table. Fine. This is for single table which I just imported. So let's see if I have multiple tables, what will happen. If you want, you can go here, say right click, and I can delete this connection as well. So this query is deleted. Now we'll not have that connection. Or if you want, you can still work on this. But suppose if you delete this, again I cannot get back that whatever values or say queries we have imported. Fine. Let's import more data, that is more tables from file, say from workbook. Now here I have one more Excel sheet, that is Excel raw data. Let me just import. So here I have many tables in this. Now I want to import all this. So what I'll do, I'll go here, I'll say select multiple items. Just click on the select multiple items. Here I'll get the checkbox kind of thing. Otherwise, you can select only one at a time. Now let me click on this. I'll select all the tables. I'll select all the tables. Now all this will be imported. Let's go and check. I'll check this table. I selected this table. You can see this customer ID and customer name is coming in data section, and you can see that it says column 1, column 2, wherein this customer ID and customer name has to go on top, and this should be the heading. Right, we'll see how to do that. Let's go and check the another table. See, here the headings are fine. Location, here this is also fine. Product, see here there is a problem, that is saying column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, whatever. I need to bring this heading here, say data which is here to the heading. Let's check all the other table. So there are problem with few tables here. Now to correct this, so what I'll do is I'll go here, I'll click on this transform. Previously I selected this load. Now I'll say transform. When I say transform, it will take me to Power Query editor. This is where I can edit all the data quickly and I can get it back to the Excel sheet. Alright. Now if you say this, it says column 1, column 2, but for me the customer ID and customer name should be as a header. Now for this, what we have to do is here we have some simple options. What I can do here, it says transform, say use first row as headers. Click on this. The first row, whatever was there, that will become heading now. Customer ID, customer name. Let me go here, data. This is fine. Go to location. This is also fine. Product. See, there is a problem here. So I'll go here, say use first row as headers. Segment. Here I'll say use first row as headers. Ship mode, and I'll say use first row as headers. So this is how I can clean this. Fine. Suppose by mistake you would have clicked on this. Say here I have the heading. I clicked on this. Now the first row which was there, that became heading. Control Z will not work here. You cannot use Control Z, but instead what I can do is here the queries, whatever is there, the query settings, all the queries, whatever I'm doing here, all the actions, whatever I'm doing here, that will be recorded here one below the other. Now what we'll do, we'll go here, I'll just remove this and I'll remove this. See, again I'll get back. So you don't have to bother. Suppose if I've done some calculations or some mistakes or something additional, so to get back that, you just have to go and remove the steps whatever you have given here. So that will actually get me back the steps whatever is there. Say it's like a rollback, but no control set will work here. Now all the columns we made it as first row as headers, means on all the table. Now let's close this. I'll say close load, close load 2. Here we'll say close load. I'll tell you how what is the use of this close load 2 later. Let me click on this load. Now all the tables whatever are there, that will get loaded here. See, this is ship mode. Let me click on this segment. See, product, location, data, and say customer. And you can see all of them here. They have been converted to table kind of thing, like this. Now on this again, I can create a pivot table or anything, whatever you want, you can create. Say insert pivot table. See, I can start creating the pivot table. Fine. We remove this. We delete this. This is we loaded the data from another Excel sheet and we have kept it here. So we know that how we can use this. So if you want, you can go here to say where is that data query settings. So here I have all the query options. Okay, so here I can go and take the data and keep creating the reports. Right. So this is importing from Excel. Now let's see how we can import data from CSV files. Now let's go here. Data, just took one more new file so that we'll not get confused. From text, I'll take this text file, any one of the text file I'll take, say import. Now this will import the data. Here you can see again it says column 1, column 2, column 3, whatever. Now here it is taking as the comma separator, which will separate my columns and it will give me the result like this. Now here also we have this load to and transform. If you think that I want to modify this, so what I can do, I'll say transform. So any data set, whatever you are taking, it will come to this editor and you can work similarly. Let me say use first row as headers. This is the text file, and I'll say keep. See that CSV file data has been imported here. So likewise, I can take data from various sources. Now let's see how we can do the same thing with access file. Say Control N. I'm just doing it in different sheets. Later on, we'll take a text file, access file, and Excel file from different sources and put it in the same sheet also, and we'll see. Let's say data, get data. This time I'll take from access file. We'll take this access. Here you can see there are so many tables. Let me select. So whatever table I had kept in Excel, the same table I kept in Access, so that we can use it for connecting from Excel to Access as well. Let me just take all these table I just selected. So I can check this here. So once you feel that the headings are fine, the data is fine, then you can import it. I think all the data is fine now. That is from access which I have taken. Right. Now here we saw how to use this transform data. We also saw how to use this load. Now we'll see what is this load to. Let me click on this load to. This option is similar for all the sources. So I'm just showing, with the different, say, data sources so that we can learn all the options along with all the data sources as well. Same option for everything. All the data sources, it will be similar. Let me click on this load to. Once it's done, see, if I say load to, it will ask, should I load it as table, as pivot table report, pivot chart, or only create connection? If you think that as of now I don't want to do anything, let me just keep it as a connection. Means you're just creating a connection. Then go here and say create connection. Say okay. The data will not be loaded in the sheet. It will be just like a connection. So whenever I need, I can import it. Now if you say this, all the queries which are taken now, that will be available here. It is just loading. Once it is loaded, that will be there in the data model. So whenever I want, I can use this data set for reports. See, it's done now. Now I don't have anything in the sheet. Now if I save and close also, it will be available, provided this connection should be available. Means that file, whatever is there in that folder, it should be available. Now let's say I want this data. Right click, say load, say table. Data which was there here, so that will get loaded here. See, so you can use this in anywhere in the Excel sheet like this. So I want, say, ship mode. Select somewhere, say load to table. See, this will get loaded. Fine. Now what we have done is we have taken the data from different sources but in a different file itself. Now what we'll do is, let me close this. We'll close all the files. Now let's go here again and we'll take the data from different sources. Say data, get data from file from Excel. Let me take this Excel raw data. Say multiple files. I'll take this customer data and location from this Excel sheet and I'll say transform. Just we'll clean it. Just column 1, column 2. Let me make it as use first row as it is. Let's take other two. They are fine. I will say close and load to. We'll take only connection. So as of now, let it be a connection. See, customer data and location, they are actually from Excel sheet. Let's take data from access file. That is getting connected. Say multiple files. So we have taken this customer data and location. Now I'll take this product segment and ship mode. So here let's check the data. They are actually fine. So I'll say this also load to, and I'll say only create connection. Now the connection has been established between the Excel sheet and the access file. Now all these are actually imported as a data modeling. Now I can use this for connecting within the reports. Right. Now we have all these queries. These three are from Excel. These are from, say, access file. Now we can connect all these things. How? Let's go here. Say pivot table. Then I have this. Say select. We have to select these values or say these datas. So what we'll do, we'll right click and say one by one you have to take. Let me take this data and say load to. Say table, and this one let's take it from A1. Make sure that you will say add this data to data model if you want to connect from other sources, and then say okay. Right. Now if you go here, I have this, say insert pivot table and all these things you can do. Let me go to this segment, right click, load to, I'll say table. So in this case, we'll take a new worksheet. I'll take a new worksheet, say okay. So now it will go back to the first sheet. Let's say insert, I'll say pivot table. Say add data to data model, say okay. So here it says active and all. Now whatever I've taken this one, that is the data. That is if you go here to design, it says data. Now let's go here and select this, it says segment. Now if you go here, if you want to connect, say I have only one table, if you want to connect even this segment as well, then say all. So all the tables, see, whichever is imported here, everything will be available here. So you can take data, say from segment, and I'll put it here. And then see here, I got this segment, and then I'll take sales from this data sheet like this. Create connection, say from data, segment ID will take, and then we'll go to this segment, say segment ID. If it's not, then you can also use this auto detect. If there is any relationship, what it will do, it will just give me auto detection like this. See, so one is actually from access and the other one is from Excel. So we can connect the data like this as fine. Close this. Now we just understood about how to connect the files. Now what we'll do, we'll see, suppose if I have a data, say huge data, say huge number of files like this, how to get all the data one below the other. Let me just take out few files from here and I'll put it outside. So data. But what I have to do is, whatever data I'm putting here in this raw data folder, that should get refreshed. So for that, what we can do here, go to this data and say get data. Here I have this from file, database, and all these things. You can see there is something called as folder here. From folder, click on this. It asks for the path. Let me go here and I'll give this path. Say okay. So once I give the path, what it will do is it will take the metadata of that particular folder. Metadata means the information of the files which are available in one folder. If you say this, I'm getting only the file name, file extension, and the details, some details, that is where it is saved, when it is created, what is the folder path, all these things. The for me, the thing is, I don't want this metadata. I want the information, or say the data which is there, that has to be automated one below the other. Now what we'll do, we'll go to this transform. Here I have got one more option, that is combine. Combine and transform data, combine and load, and combine load to. Like what we had this load and load to. Similarly, here I have this combine and transform, combine and load, combine and load to. Let's go here and say transform data. Once I click on it, I'll get this Power Query editor. And here I have the meta information, that is metadata. But for me, I want the table one below the other. So what we'll do, here I have this content which says binary. Binary means it will hold all the values in the table. Now I can see there is an arrow here, that is taking it one below the other, that is appending. Let me click on this. When I click on this, what will happen is all the values of each file that will get appended one below the other. Let me select one sample data. This is sample data. Now I'll say okay. Now it is combined. See, the complete data is combined. All right, there are a few more cleaning what we have to do. So what we'll do, we'll go here. I'll just say load. Click on this load. See, the entire data in that folder got loaded here. There are a few cleanings which we are supposed to do. Let's do that. You can see this. See, here I have the heading, but the heading was supposed to come here, and here also I have some heading. Now what we'll do, we'll go here, say data query connections. Let's right click and say edit. So here you can try to clean that. Here it says state brand or whatever. So I'll put this in the heading. So for that I'll go, I'll say use first row as headers. But similarly here I can see this state whatever, the headings are repeating. I don't want this heading. So what I can do, I'll go here to this state and remove this. This will just try to filter. See, now close this, keep the changes. See, now the entire data set which was there in the folder, that will get appended. Appended means one below the other. Right, now after doing this, I want more data to be available. Say for example, now next week or say next month, some more data will get added. So let's say I'll add these 4 files. Let me go here and I put it in this raw data. So as of now, if you go and check the data here, say brand. So I'm having Apple, BlackBerry, HTC, and LG. Only 4 brands. Now we are trying to add 2 more brands. That is 4 files, but 2 more brands, Motorola and Nokia. Let's go back to this Excel sheet. Here, I'll say refresh all. Now let's go and check. See, Motorola and Nokia also got added. Right. Now let me put some more data. So we have this Samsung and Sony here. So what we'll do, we'll go to that folder and we'll paste it. We just have to paste it, that's all. Now let's come back and then I'll say refresh all. Let's go and check. Did we paste? Oh, sorry. Paste it in same folder. Okay, now it will come. Let's go and check. See, Samsung and Sony Ericsson also. Okay. So if you think that you are appending the data, so you don't have to bother now to write a macro and all those things. You'll automatically, have an option where I can upload all the files or keep it in one folder and then go to this get data and get the data, and you can append it one below the other. Now, if you think that I don't want this file name, so here I can say I have the file names. I don't want the file name. So what I can do? Again, I'll go to this. See, from here also I can go to edit. I'll say edit. So it will take me to Power Query editor. And then right click. I'll say remove. Column is removed. So go and check if there are any columns to be removed. Now let's close this. Say keep. See, that column is gone. So likewise, you can append the data. This is not only for Excel sheet. This can be done for any other files as well. That is access file or say text file or anything. Fine. Next is I want a list of file names. Assume that in this folder I have so many files, or let's say I want all the files, the complete list of files which are available in this folder. It can be a subfolder, it can be another folder in that, so it can be anything, but I want all the files in this, say, path. Copy this. So what we'll do, go as a get data from file, or we'll say folder. And say OK. So what it will do is it will take all the file, along with that it's taking the data also. Now I'm not interested in the data, I just want only the file names. Let's go to this transform data. Once I go there, there are so many columns which I don't require. And here I'm not interested in the data as well. I'm just interested only in the file names. Now let me select this, right click and say remove. And I can select each and everything and say keep removing. Instead of that, what I can do is select this, right click, and I'll say remove other columns. Only once. You don't have to keep removing all the columns. Just select this column, right click, and say remove other columns. All the other columns are gone. If you see here, I have all the files which are there in the folder which I have selected. Now we'll close this. Say keep the changes. Right. Now if you can see, I'll get all the files which are available in that folder. So you can go to the last folder, that is the subfolder also, and get only files within that folder as well. So here, suppose if you want to have only Excel sheet, so what you can do, you can go here, you can just try to filter and say XLSX. Here we'll put star. Or you can use the filter also. See, I'll get only XLSX files. This is to get the file names in the folder. Fine. So we understood about how we can connect the data from various sources. We also saw how we can actually manipulate or say modify the data in a simple way, that is just to change the row headers and make it as a column headers. Now let's see a few more options. Let me just close this. Next is I want to clean the data. Clean the data in the sense sometimes what will happen, I might get so much of data when I'm importing and the headings are not proper, or there are some blank values, or there are some things which are not actually matching to my requirement. So I want to clean it. So for that what we can do is we have one option, that is say reduce rows or remove rows or something. Let's go and see how this can be worked. Let me take this file itself. Okay. Now if you see this file, I've kept so many different say tables here. Now I want to remove blank rows here, or if you go here I want to keep only few rows on top, then bottom few rows, or say in this table I want to keep say range of rows, say from one range to another range. So keep duplicates. There are some duplicates here. If you see this, just make it as status. See, there are some duplicates here. I want to keep only duplicates, not the unique values. Right. Next, if you want to keep errors or remove top rows. So if you want to do like this, see, I told you, if I'm importing the data, what will happen? There'll be something like this, some blank columns, rows or something. So to clean all this, what I'll do is I'll use this Power Query editor. Let me close this. I will say, let me go to this data, get transform. You have to import it first. Say from workbook. Let's take this reduce rows. There are so many tables. Let me just take all the tables. Say transform data. Now we'll see how we can clean this data and bring it to Excel sheet. Now we know how to connect, get the data directly. Now what we are trying to do is we are going one level next, that is how to edit the data. Right. Now here it says keep bottom rows. Sometimes what will happen is I want to keep the bottom rows. Means here from say 11 to 25 or say from 15 to 25 or something. I want the last 10 rows, 20 rows, 50 rows or whatever. So what I'll do, I'll go here, say keep bottom rows. When I give that, I'll get an option. It'll ask how many rows I need at the bottom. Let's say I want only 10 records. Say okay. So the last 10 records will be saved here. Fine. Next one, set keep top rows. Similarly, like what we have this bottom rows, same thing. I can do it for top rows as well. So here we have this keep top rows. I'll just do it on this. Keep rows, keep top rows. Number of rows I'll set 10. See, first 10 rows will be taken. Fine. Next one, keep range of rows. Let me select this. I'll go here and say keep range of rows. Glass for first row. Let's say my first row, I'll take it as 101. Number of rows, I'll say 100. That means from 101 row number, or say whatever, remove 100 rows. So this will go up to 201 or something. Let me say okay. See 101 to 200. That means from 101, I'm taking 100 records. Here it is showing me 200, that is the serial number. This is range. So I'm just trying to keep some rows within that range. Duplicates. As I mentioned, here I have a lot of things here. Say ship mode, a consumer, a segment. So the combination of these three will become duplicate. You can see there is something called as null here and something. So what we'll do, we'll go here. Now we have to remove the duplicates. First, use first row as headers. Now once this is done, then what I'll do, I'll select the entire table like this. I want to keep only the duplicate. Let's go here and say keep duplicates. All the unique values will be removed, and whichever is duplicated means whichever values are duplicate, so it will take that value. Right. Next one, remove rows. It is just reverse of this keep rows. Keep rows means it was keeping the rows in the table and rest will be deleted. But remove rows means directly you are going and trying to remove the rows. Let's say remove top rows. I want to clean this. Suppose if you have something like this, you don't have to panic. I want to delete the top 4 rows. I could have deleted this also. I'll tell you why we are not deleting it. Say row. Now we'll say keep rows. Say remove. Here we have this remove top rows. So what I'll do, I'll say remove top 4 rows. Now say okay. See, the first 4 rows are removed. Now I have this row ID, order ID, whatever. This is the heading. I can go here, say use first row as headers. All right. Next one. Say keep bottom rows. Sorry, remove bottom rows. Go here. Say remove bottom rows. Let's say I'll remove some 50. Say okay. Oops. Only 50 were there. Let's go and check. It's only 25 records. Remove bottom rows. Let's say I'll remove bottom 15 records. See, only 10 records are available. Remove alternative rows. Sometimes what will happen, let me go here and check the data. See here, I'll get some data here wherein I need to remove the alternative rows. Say for example, in this case, I want to keep this one. The next 2 records are not required for me, and then next I need to keep this. That means I want to keep this row, and then these 2 should be deleted, and again these 2 should be kept. So for this, what we'll do, we have to go here to this remove rows and say remove alternative rows. First you have to study this thoroughly. So how I have to remove the say rows. Now let's say first row to remove. I'll take this as 2. You can see this. This is the first row which I need to remove. From this point, how many rows I need to remove? I'll say 2 rows. That is, this 0 and 0 will get removed. Next it will ask how many rows to keep. So next I have 2 rows to keep. See, this is the first row, and then it asks for how many rows to remove. I have to remove these 2, and then it is asking number of rows to keep. I'll say 2 rows. That means after this, the 2 rows. Now I'll say okay. See, wherever the zeros are there, that will be removed. So this is for removing, that is alternative rows. Remove duplicate. Remove duplicate is exactly like what we have in our Excel sheet. So what it will do, it will combine all these three values and then it will make it as say unique or duplicate. Let me go here, say use first row has got headers. Now here I have the ship mode, customer name and segment. I want only unique values. So if you see this, many are actually duplicated. Say here from here, second class, here everything is duplicate. I think this complete thing is duplicated. Then here standard class, there are so many which is duplicated. So here there are many records which are duplicated. I want to take only unique records, that is they remove duplicate. So let me just go here, select and then remove rows, say remove duplicates. See, all the duplicates will be removed and only unique values will be kept. Right. Next one is remove blank rows. I want to remove the blank rows. Let's go and check the table. Here I have some blank rows here. See, I want to remove these blank rows. Click here, remove blank rows. So you don't have to bother. Automatically all the blank rows will be removed. Next one is remove errors. Suppose if you think that there are some errors in my Excel sheet or say in my data. So if you want to remove it, so what I can do, I'll go here, I'll say keep errors and remove errors. I'll just click on this remove errors and then go here, I'll say remove errors. So wherever that errors were there, that will get removed. Similarly, I have this remove keep errors. I'll go here to this Excel table, say keep errors. So all the data will be removed and only the errors will be kept. So this is for removing the rows, that is reducing the rows. Similarly, I have for columns as well. Let me close this. Again, it will be same process. Say suppose if you think that this has to be kept in my Excel sheet, then again keep, transform, load to. So for every sheet or every Excel, this is similar. Say discard. Okay. Now we'll see how to manage the columns. Managing column means I'll try to remove or keep some of the columns. We go here, say get data from workbook. I'll take this manage columns, say okay. Let me select this table and say transform. Now assume that I want to remove one column. Let's say I don't want the ship date. Select this. Here it says manage columns. Say remove columns. See, that column will get removed. Not only single, I can do it for multiple columns as well. See. Now if you go to this, remove columns, all the selected columns will be removed. So suppose if you want to remove other columns other than whatever is selected. Let's say I want order ID, then I'll say region and then sales. So only these columns has to be retained. Then what I'll do, I'll select the columns which are to be retained and then I'll say remove other columns. See, all the other columns which are not selected, that will be removed. Similarly, I have for choose columns and go to columns. Let's remove all this data. It's whatever queries you have done. Choose column. See here, to go to this sales data or say sales column, I need to scroll like this. But what I'll do, I'll go here, say, go to column. I'll click on that particular column and say OK. See, it will take me to that column. Okay. Next one is choose columns. If I click on this, I'll get a list of column names which we have already created, means already imported. So I can select here whichever is required for me. Say order date, customer name, then say state, and I'll say sales. So okay. See, only these columns will be selected and that will be available. The rest all will be removed. Okay. Now if you see this, you have this choose columns, go to column, and say remove columns, remove other columns. So why I'm telling all these things is this is how we can modify the data here without using any formulas or anything, and then we can get back this to the Excel sheet and then work on this. Now you might be thinking, so why I have to go to the Power Query editor again, come back here, that will become like a table. But don't worry about it. See, anything converted to table, we can have all advanced Power Pivots or say pivot tables. Also, whenever you're importing, that means you're trying to get a connection, not dumping the data directly here. So previously what was happening, so we used to just dump the data and create the reports. Now what we are trying to do, we're putting that into data model. Whenever it is required, I'm just trying to use it. Fine. So we understood about the columns and the rows. Now let's say I have a data, I need to split. Split in the sense, make it separate based on the IDs or some columns. Let's import this data from file, Excel workbook. Now let me select the split. Save. Select the column, so transform data. Right. Now here we can actually split the data into different formats. Now what we'll do, we'll go here, so right click, just make a duplicate of it, and then let me select this, say remove others. I'm just trying to remove this so that I'll have only one column here. Now here it says split by delimiter. You have an option that is split column. So here there are so many options. Let's say I'll click on this delimiter. Delimiter means a character which is getting separated. Say here I have this hyphen. Let me click on this delimiter. So once I come to this, or click on the delimiter, I'll get one screen like this. Here it says split column by delimiter. Then here I should select the delimiter character here. Anyways, it has selected the hyphen. And it says split at leftmost delimiter. Only this, the left side, whatever is there, till there only it will be separated. Next, rightmost delimiter. Whatever is there in the rightmost, that will be split. Each occurrence of the delimiter, that means all the occurrence. Let me click on OK. So wherever we have this hyphen, there the data is getting split. And if you take this to Excel, this will work exactly like what we have done here. This is split by delimiter. Right. Let's take one more column. Let's duplicate it. Go here. Say split by number of characters. So this is actually called as separating the column, or say converting that into column by fixed width. Let's go here, split based on number of characters. Say I want to separate this by 1, 2, 3. Number of characters, I'll say 3. Let me say okay. So what will happen is wherever the 3 characters are there, including space or hyphen or whatever it is, I'll say okay. See, here it is just trying to divide the number of split the values by 3 characters. So since here it says 0001, so it is making us 1, so it can't take the 3 characters. Fine. Let me go to this positions. Based on the position I want to split. Say go here. Right. Now I can specify the position and then I can split this column. We'll go to the split. Say positions. You have to mention the position very carefully, because sometimes what will happen, you would have not given in a proper format. Say for example, I want to split this column 0, 5. If you're not giving comma, it will give me error. See, so what we'll do, we'll split, say from 0, we'll take 3 here, so it will have more columns, and then here I'll say 5. This is the position actually. So let's say okay. See 1, 2, 3, up to 3 positions. From 0 to 3 it is give me 1 column. Then after that, whatever number I've given, so that will be split, and then the rest all will be split like this. Say a third position, and this fifth position, and then it goes on. Suppose if you put comma 7, then again these 2 characters will be a separate column. So this is by position. I can give the position, and also I can split the columns. Fine. Next one. Let me just take this. Next one is split by lowercase to uppercase. Let me remove other columns. You can see that the characters are small here, and then it is going to capital letters. I want to split wherever the small letters are, that is something like this. So what we'll do is just split lowercase to uppercase. So what it will do, it will just try to split based on the condition what I've given. It says lower to uppercase. Similarly, I can do this for duplicate. Say duplicate. I'm just making this duplicate so that I can show all the options here. Similarly, I have something called as from uppercase to lowercase. Now we'll say right click, split, and then we'll say uppercase to lowercase. See, uppercase to lowercase, it will split. Next, split by digit to non-digit and non-digit to digit. Let's take this. Now we'll make a duplicate of it. Okay. Okay, we'll take this. Let's make a duplicate of it, and then we'll say split here digit to non-digit. Just go and check this column. So here I made one digit, and then we have this characters. till wherever the numbers are there, that will be split into one column and the rest will be into one column. Sometimes what will happen, I would have imported data and everything is mixed. So I want to separate it by numbers. Then I can use this option. Just go here, say remove other columns. Now I'll say split by digit to non-digit. Click on this. See, that means still wherever the number is there, that will be one column, and after that whatever characters are there, that will be another column. Right. Next one is from characters to digit, like this. Right click, duplicate. Let me select, say remove columns, remove other columns. Now I'll just split from non-digit to digit. See, so likewise I can split the data into different formats, and after this I can load it to my Excel sheet and then I can work on the reports. This for splitting. Next one is about the group by. Group by means I'm trying to group the values, aggregate the values. Then let's go here and we'll import the data. Say data, get data from file, and say from Excel, group by, say import. Let me take this group by, the transform data. Right. Group means it is trying to just group the column whatever we have selected. Say group by. We click on this. Now it will ask me group by which column I've selected this ship mode. The new column, say here, I'm making it as count because it is saying count. Now let me go here and I'll say some different column. I'll say sum. Then I'll take the sales. Previously I was taking as a text column. So what was happening? It was actually not giving me proper say operation, because on a column which is a text I can do only count. I cannot do sum on that. Let's say sum of sales. Now let's say okay. See, ship mode, and it is the total of each ship mode. This I can do for any column. Let's say I want the total for say the region. Let me select this. I'll say group by, class for region. Then here I'll say sum. Here I'll say sum of region. See, like this. This is you're trying to group. This is for only one column. Let's see how we can do this for multiple columns. Now first we'll select one column and then we'll select this region. Now we'll go to this group by. See, automatically we'll go for advanced. Suppose if I'm in basic, what this will do, it will select only one column. Now mention it as advanced. Design group by ship mode region, which I can also add this more grouping. As of now, this is more than enough for us to learn. So ship mode, then say region, Then here it says new column name, the column name whatever I'm creating now, say shipment. Here it will ask for operation, let's say sum. It asks for whichever you want to say. I'll take this sales. Now if I say okay, see depending on these two columns, the grouping will be done. Say region, then ship mode, region, and the ship mode, like this. It's something like pivot table, whatever we do, right? So if you want, you can load this also by using this close and load. Okay. So we understood about the group by. Next is we have fill up and down. So what this fill up and down will do is it will try to fill the values if you have some empty cells. Either it can be up or down. Let's close this. And we'll import this fill up and down. File, say fill up and down. Let's import this transform data. So, now you can see there are two columns. One is region, and another one is category. Here I want to fill the data here. Say central means all this till east, it should be central. Now let's say here we have this fill up. See here, go to transform. We have this fill. I'll say fill down. Just click on this fill down. See the entire column wherever blanks are there, I will get filled down. Similarly, if you want to fill up, so somewhere here say I want to fill this the bottom like what we did for top. Now what we'll do here, the office supplies will go and paste like this till furniture. Then technology will go and paste it like this, not towards bottom. I'll say transform fill data. Here I'll say now we mention it as down. I'll say up. When I say up, see, but here if I have any value in the bottom, that will not be filled because here there is no other value in the bottom. So this is fill up and down. Fine. Next one is about transforming of the text, date, and then numbers. Now let me go here, the data, get data from file, and then I'll say it is from text. Okay. Format text. I'll say import. Here we have few columns with the text. Now we'll see how we can transform this data. Say format text columns. I'll say transform data. Now if you see this, I have this customer name, product ID, and again customer name and order state. Let me just make a duplicate of it. Now here I have this customer name. I want this to be capital letter. I just want to change this to capital letter. Now there are different ways to do this. See here, I have this transform and add columns. All this time I was just trying to split the column or say group it or whatever. So I didn't explain this about transform and add column. There it was just like the existing column just split. But now we'll learn about the transform and add column. Now what you see here is the transform. Transform means whatever cell I have selected, whatever column I have selected, the entire column will be changed with the selected say column or say field. But when I say add column, so what it will do is it will give me another column, copy the whole data and then convert. Right, let's see. So for example, I'll transform this. Go to this transform. Here I have this text. In this add column also I'll have this text. Now what we'll do, we'll go here, say transform. First we'll see how we can modify the same column. Go to this format and say whichever you feel to change. Let's say I want to convert this into small letters. Click on this. The entire data will be converted to small letters. That is within that column itself. Let's go here, say uppercase. So it is getting changed to uppercase. This is by transform. Let's go and see. Let me select this customer name or say year only. This only I'll select. Add column. Year. We'll go and say format and say uppercase. See, this got changed to uppercase. Let me go here. I'll go to this add. Then go here. I'll say lowercase. You can say this. A lowercase, another column is created. So you create anything here from add column, a new column will be keep getting added. But in transform it's not like that. In the existing column itself, the values will be keep getting changed. Now here it says capitalize each word. Let me click on this. All the characters, whatever is there, the first character of a word will become caps. So that is to transform data or say add column. Right. Next one, we'll go and we'll see. Sometimes what will happen, I'll have some unwanted spaces in the beginning and in the end. I don't want these unwanted spaces. Let me go here. I'll say trim. So this will actually remove these spaces. If you can see this, see here I had a lot of space here. So if you go here and click on the trim, what it will do is it will remove all the unwanted spaces. Next one, here I have something called as clean. If you see, there are some characters which is making it to come to the next line. So it can be enter or any other non-printable characters. We'll go to this add column and I'll say clean. When I click on this, this will be created. Say another column will be created. But same thing if you go to this transform, see here also will have same options. Say format, trim and clean. But this will clean the existing column itself. Suppose if you think that I want say to be cleaned and put it into a separate column, then I'll go to this add column and then I'll say format, I'll say clean. So this will remain as is, and here you can see. Let me select this, go to text, sorry, transform and say text. Here I'll say clean, see, sorry, this one, clean. See, this column itself, the existing column itself will get cleaned. Right, now here I have this one column. I want to prefix something. Say prefix and suffix. I want to prefix ind in this and hyphen. Just go here, say add prefix and last for the value, say ind. So I want something like this before this customer name. I'll say, so, see, this is you're just trying to prefix. Same thing you can do for suffix, that is the next one. Say last. Say okay. See? So like this, you can format the data here for the text like this. So apart from this, you also have few things here. That is, suppose if you want to get the length. Let me go here. I'll select this product ID. If you want to get the length, I'll go here. I'll say length. It'll give me the length of that particular column. Again, here, go to this add column. Here I'll have this same options will be there, but this will create a separate column. So you have to decide whether I need to create a separate column or should be transformed within that column itself. These are the modifications what I'm actually doing in my say Power Query Editor, which I can use it in Excel sheet. You don't think that why this Power Query Editor is there. So by now I think you would have understood why this Power Query Editor is there. This will actually make use of, it will help us in cleaning a lot of other things as well, and even merging the data as well. Fine, let me close this. Next is we'll see how to modify the numbers. Let me go here, say get data from file. Now let's take this number, so select the table, I'll say transform data. Now to select this column, which is number, when I select this, go to the transform or to add column, the number column will be activated. Means this number column, whatever is there, this will be activated. Let me click on this text. See here, all this will become disabled. And select this number, so this will be enabled like this. So whichever column is appropriate for that, only those options will be enabled. Now here, if you click on this, it will ask for some average, minimum, whatever. So whichever you want, you can just click on this. See here, it is actually aggregating. That means complete table it is aggregating. Next, go to this transform. Same thing for minimum, average, minimum, whatever is there. But we also have something called as add, multiplication, and all these things. So when I say add, if you want to add something to this, say I want to add value 50. See, 50 will be added to this. Let me go and change this. I'll change this to something more, a bigger number. And let me make it as 1000. That will be easy. See, okay. This is for add. Let me go here. I'll say multiply. If you want to multiply something, let's take this quantity and I'll say multiply. Let's say I want to multiply it by 25. Say okay. See. So likewise, I have this subtraction or blah blah whatever is there. So you can just try to use these options. Scientific, suppose if you want to work on some scientific calculation, you can just go here, you can do the calculation here. So after this, when I'm closing, if I say keep it, so that will actually get loaded in the Excel and I can work on it. See, we change something here. Suppose if you think you are going to change this, say edit. So let me just remove all these three columns. See, remove columns. Only these three columns are there. Let's save this. See, those three columns are gone here. So whatever changes you are doing there, that will get reflected here as well. Fine. Let's go to another one, that is date. This date again is a very nice option. Suppose if you're working on date and you want to clean that, so what I'll do, let me just take that date option. So format date columns. Format date columns, I'll say transform date. Now for those date columns alone, there will be some options. So here I have a date here. Select this, go to this transform or add column. So depending on your requirements, say I want to have a duplicate column, then you can go and say add column. Otherwise, you can use it with transform. Now let me select this add column. Here I have this from date and time. So this will be enabled only if the data is time format or say date format. See 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will not take because it's not a date. Let me select this, automatically will get enabled. So if I click here, there are so many options here. Let's say year. I want to get the year out of it. Say start of the year. It will just give me the start of this year. Say 8/11/2017. It will give me start of the year. Select this. Say end of the year. It will give me the end of the year. Select year. I just want only the year, the current year, whatever is there here. See, let me make a duplicate of it. Delete. Okay. Next one is month. So if I click on this month, I'll get the month, the serial number here like this. Select this, then say month, start of the month. That is start of that particular month, whatever I've selected here. See 1/11/2017. It says 8/11/2017. Next, say here I have this month, start of the month, end of the month, day of the month, name of the month. Let's click on this name of the month. Just want to know the names here. I'll get the name of the month here. Right. Then here I have this quarter. So this will give me quarter of the year. So which quarter this falls? I'll say quarter of the year. See 8/11/2017 is fourth quarter. So depending on the date, whatever is there here, I'll get the quarter number here. Then next, select this. Then we'll say week. Week of the year. We know that weekdays and week num. So those formulas are actually here very simple. You just go and click on this, you'll get the week number also. Then suppose if you have start week or say week, the end of a month or whatever, you can just click on the say if you want to know the start day of this, just click on the start of the week. So it will give me the start of the week. So it says here 8/11/2017. So it says 6/11/2017 is the first day, that is Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So this will be somewhere here like this. Then end of the week. So it will give me the end of that particular week. Then your week, say week of the month. Week of the month means it will give me in the month on which week this falls. Say week, then I'll say week of the month. It will give me the second week, third week, or whatever. Select, then here I'll say week of the year. This is for the entire year. Entire year in the sense the entire year on which week this date falls. Same thing for day also. select here, say day. See day, it will give me the day, that is 8, 12, whatever is there, that one. See, let me delete all this. See, remove columns. Just remove so that we'll get some space here. Select this and then go to this, add column. Here we'll say day, name of the day. It says Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or whatever. Okay, we'll get this. So like this, I can clean the columns in Power Query Editor, and then I can get back to my Excel sheet and I can use it however I want. Means I can create a table, I can create one pivot table or say pivot charts, so many things you can do. So this is one part of your Power Query Editor, and in the next session I'll be teaching you about how to use these things, that is how to combine queries, merge and append, and more other options which are available in Power Query Editor.